Well, good evening, everybody. Because of the COVID pandemic and consistent with both governor's emergency declaration, executive orders, and the town's emergency declaration, this meeting will be live streamed so that all members of the public who wish to listen and observe will be able to do so, and it will be recorded and transcribed. The public portion of the meeting, however, will not take place today, and public hearings will be adjourned to allow the public to participate. We anticipate a mechanism for public comment at the next town board meeting. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Supervisor Clavin.
Aye.
Councilman Blakeman.
Aye. Here, rather.
Councilman Carini.
Here.
Councilman D'Esposito.
I'm here.
Councilman Dunn.
Here.
Senior Councilwoman Gooseby.
Here.
Councilman Mascarella.
Yeah.
We have a quorum.
Councilman Carini, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? All stand.
And over your heart, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic,
One nation, under God, indivisible.
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Also at this time, I'd ask everyone to rise again for a moment of silence in recognition of the Israeli Day of Remembrance. It is in this day that we honor the memory of the 6 million Jews that perished during the Nazi Holocaust, as well as the incredible bravery of the men and women comprising the Jewish resistance. Thank you. At this time, may I have a motion to suspend the procedures of the Hempstead Town Board in light of COVID-19 pandemic?
So move.
Second.
Supervisor Clavin.
Aye.
Councilman Blakeman.
Aye.
Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman D'Esposito.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Senior Councilwoman Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilman Mascarella.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the public hearings collectively?
Yes, sir. The first is a proposed local law regarding regulations and restrictions to limit parking in Franklin Square, Uniondale, and Woodmere. The next proposed local law is regarding parking or standing prohibitions in Baldwin, Elmont, Franklin Square, Inwood, near Island Park, Roosevelt, and West Hempstead. The next public hearing is a proposed local law regarding arterial stops in Franklin Square, Garden City South, and West Hempstead. The next proposed local law is regarding traffic regulations in the vicinity of schools in Baldwin. The next proposed local law is regarding loading zones near Island Park. The next proposed local law is regarding taxi cab stands near Island Park. The next proposed local law is in relation to increasing the maximum fines for illegal dumping of refuse and garbage on vacant lots or streets. The next proposed local law is entitled Tow Cars by adding a new subsection E thereof in relation to regulations for heavy-duty towing. The next proposed local law is in relation to the definition of the term program time period applicable to apprenticeship training programs. And Supervisor, the last public hearing is a proposed increase and improvement of the Franklin Square Water District.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And after doing all that work, may I now have a motion to adjourn the public hearings?
Supervisor, I move
make-
to adjourn the public hearings until May 5th, 2020.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second the motion.
Supervisor Clavin.
Second.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I vote aye.
Councilman Blakeman.
Aye.
Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman D'Esposito.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Senior Councilwoman Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilman Mascarella.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the administrative calendar.
There are items 1 through 26 on the administrative calendar, Supervisor and board members. I also have 3 resolutions that are of an urgent or emergency nature. The first emergency hand-up authorizes the supervisor to execute an amendment to a certain memorandum of agreement negotiated by the Civil Service Employees Association, Inc., relative to employees leaving service between March 30th, 2020 to April 26, 2020, as authorized by the Town Board Resolution number 527 of 2020. The second emergency resolution authorizes the supervisor to execute a memorandum of agreement negotiated with the Civil Service Employees Association, Inc., relative to employee compensation from the April 18th, 2020 time period to May 1st, 2020. The third and final emergency hand-up authorizes the town attorney to accept the proposal of Stephen M. Lester to provide legal services to the Town Board Councilmanic Minority District. These items will appear as items 27, 28, and 29 on the administrative calendar.
Do any members wish to sever?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, I would move at this time that item number 9 be adjourned without date.
I second.
Supervisor Clavin?
Aye.
Councilman Blakeman?
Aye.
Councilman Carini?
Aye.
Councilman D'Esposito?
Aye.
Councilman Dunn?
Aye.
Senior Councilwoman Gooseby?
Aye.
And Councilman Muscarella?
Aye.
May I have a motion on the rest of the administrative calendar with the exception of item number 9?
Mr. Supervisor,
I move the administration calendar in its entirety with the exception of number 9.
second the motion.
Supervisor Clavin?
Aye.
Councilman Blakeman?
Aye.
Councilman Carini?
Aye.
Councilman D'Esposito?
Aye.
Councilman Dunn?
Aye.
Senior Councilwoman Gooseby?
Aye. I have a statement that I would like to make concerning the, excuse me?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a statement that I would like to read.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's concerning the Open Gov Incorporated resolution. I am so pleased and grateful for the work of the Building Department Commissioner Rodkamp and the town's Building Department Advisory Committee on this exciting proposal by Open Gov Incorporated. This contract will give the town's building department a state-of-art, customized, cloud-based software for the building department's permitting, licensing, and code enforcement functions. The town's building department advisory committee included a highly qualified and diverse group of building department stakeholders. The committee included an architect, an engineer, an attorney, an expediter, a home improvement contractor, a former elected official and building owner, and representatives from a construction industrial group and a public interest advocacy organization. This diverse group brought many different perspectives to the process and enabled the committee and the vendor to craft a proposal specific to the town of Hempstead's needs, because this proposal will vastly improve the efficiency and effectiveness of our constituents' experience and interactions with the town building department. I vote highly in favor of this resolution.
Supervisor, if I may interrupt, thank you, Senior Councilwoman Gooseby. If I could just complete the roll, and this is for the motion on the entire administrative calendar with the exception of administrative item number 9. I had recorded all the votes of all the town board members, including the supervisor, but I did not get to Councilman Muscarella. What say you?
Yes.
And Councilwoman, your remarks were made public, and I'm grateful for that. Do any other board members wish to make comments?
Supervisor,
Supervisor, if I might, first of all, I want to congratulate you, Supervisor, for forming the committee, for initiating this effort. I want to thank all the members of the committee, all the citizens and professionals who served on the committee. I want to thank the Commissioner of the Building Department, John Rodkamp, and his staff. I think that this is a great step forward to make it easier for our residents to use the building department. I think it's also good for business. I think the contractors, both big and small in our town, and the developers who are rebuilding our town and our infrastructure will be very happy with this new proposal that will, again, make it easier for people to file papers and track their building permits online. So I enthusiastically join you, Supervisor, Senior Councilwoman Gooseby, and my colleagues for bringing this matter to our attention and for approving it.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other board member?
yes, Supervisor, if I may, I want to just further comment on item number 6 and just reiterate the words of Senior Councilwoman Gooseby. and Councilman Blakeman, and just thank Commissioner Rockcamp and his team for working expeditiously to get this into place and really move our building department forward. The volume that they endure each year of over 100,000 people walking through their doors is not an easy lift, and obviously there's always room for improvement. And I know that we're in tough times right now, and obviously we don't have any public here in the pavilion with us. And with that said, I'd like to ask Commissioner Rockcamp if he could just, on the record, give an explanation and an overview of OpenGov and what it's going to mean for the town of Hempstead.
Thank you, Councilman. Commissioner Rodkamp?
Good evening. Thank you, Supervisor. Thank you, members of Town Board. First of all, I would like to start by thanking you. You have all shown great leadership in this time of an international pandemic of helping the residents of the town of Hempstead. As the councilman just said, approximately 100,000 people visit the building department every year. Unfortunately, those people aren't able to come here and take care of their important things that they need to take care of at this time. Currently, at the supervisor's suggestion, we have a drop box set up in the lobby where people are able to drop off paperwork from 10 to 2 every day. That obviously is working because every day we have a long line of people here just to drop things off. In approximately a month's time now, people will be able to file online. This is going to be a game changer for the residents of the town of Hempstead. What they're going to be able to do is they'll be able to submit and pay for permits through an interactive web portal, which is extremely user-friendly. They'll be able to track and monitor the status of their applications. If they're in the middle of filling out an application and they have to come back to it later, it saves their draft, it saves all their information, so they can come back and work on it later. As far as the internet, as the standards, when you go to this type of software, we're expecting to reduce review time by 20 to 30%. Reporting will be reduced by 50 to 80%, and foils will be reduced by 20% due to the fact that people can get this information on their own. People will be able to request inspections, review historical permits, payments, inspections, and in-progress applications. So they'll be able to watch their application move through the system. There's also a feature of the software that allows the applicant to message the town staff through the process called a chat, which I'm sure if people have gone online before, you could type in a message and someone can type back to you. So people will be able to do that. They'll be able to also print all their paperwork from home. Another advantage of this system is it's extremely environmentally friendly. Right now, people have to waste their time driving to the town, wasting gas, have to find a parking spot, go through public safety, ride the elevators, requiring more air conditioning for the summer because of all the people in the building. Now they won't have to do any of those things. When they get here, they won't have to wait online at the application counter, then go to the real estate section, and then go to the cashier. So all this will be in place within a month's time. Long term, by the end of the year, the system will be complete where they're going to take all of our different software that we have and put it into their system so everything will be complete. Another part of this plan is to use another company called Bluebeam, which what they do is, as you can use their software, as the architect submits their plans electronically, the plan examiners can review it, redline them right on the screen and send it back to the architect. The advantage of this does is, number one, when we put something in objections and then we mail it to them, the architect needs to set a whole new set of plans for these few changes. Now they don't have to do that. They don't have to print them. They don't have to use ink to do that, and it's done instantaneously, so they'll get their answers quickly. Other things that are going to happen is currently, when people either buy a house, sell a house, or doing any transactions, they need to do a search. We have 4 full-time employees and 1 part-time employee every day doing searches. In approximately a year, when this system is complete, those 5 people won't need to do those tasks anymore because homeowners could do it for themselves. And then we will be able to take those existing employees and put them where other areas where we're needed, where we don't have to hire new employees, and these employees already have the institutional knowledge going forward to jump right in. One of the other things that we currently do is we have employees that work in applications. We have 4 employees that do that. We'll probably be able to assign them additional tasks because as homeowners are doing this from home, we won't need so much people to do that data entry. Another thing that we have is we have 4 employees and a part-timer that scans in all the documents that are submitted. Now, with this new system, all the documents come already scanned in, saving more employees to better utilize them throughout the department. As far as the building inspectors, plumbing inspectors, housing and zoning, and public assembly, they're able to review the records real time, and the system plots their route, which helps them save time getting to every location as well as saves fuel. So again, Supervisor Clavin, members of the town board, I thank you for your leadership in moving this project forward. I believe it is a game changer for the public and is greatly going to increase the efficiency of the building department.
Thank you, Commissioner, for your work, and thank you for the town board, and especially at a time when people are, limited on their availability to go out. The fact that this mechanism will be put in place to allow people to do the work, not only personal and the commercial, from different locations, eliminate the foot traffic, and again, take into account the fact that it will minimize the public having to come to the town facilities, which, if I'm not mistaken, average over 100,000 people a year coming to the building department. Is that correct?
That is correct, Supervisor.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your due diligence. Thank you for the town board. With that, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I make it.
But before we adjourn, Supervisor.
No, hold on,
I'm so
Councilwoman.
proud of this.
Yes, Councilwoman, I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
Before we adjourn, I think everyone should know that we all worked on this very, very hard, and thank you for pushing us to do it so quickly. And also, we must thank the committee because, they didn't get paid anything for this. They were volunteers, and it's always nice to know that you have people who live in the community who are willing to give that time to help you get things together. So I'm so proud of this, and I know that the residents will really love it. So I'm also thinking, as I'm speaking, that maybe we need to have some classes for them if they would like to, see them before we really put it on the line.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Absolutely. Councilwoman, thank you very much for those remarks. Can I also get a motion to adjourn out of you, too?
Yes, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Supervisor Clavin.
Aye.
Councilman Blakeman.
Aye.
Councilman Carini.
Aye.
Councilman D'Esposito.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Senior Councilwoman Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Thank you. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, I do urge you to please follow the recommendations of the governor as well as the medical professionals to help get past this pandemic. And most importantly, I hope all of you stay safe and remain that way. Thank you all.
And thank you, everybody who came tonight. We appreciate